Welcome to the Be Your Best Self blog by Marcia Abbott. Are you scared? How many of you out there like scary movies? Or was that more of an adventure for you when you were younger? For me, I used to love them in my earlier years. The movie series Saw was my all-time favorite. It's the only time I can honestly say that I loved the first one as much as the ninth one. Those shows always had me guessing at every twist and turn, and the ending, well, it was always unpredictable and usually left me pondering the whole film for weeks after it was over. Now that's a good scary movie. However, over the years, I have noticed one minor shift in my life. When it comes to cinemas, I typically won't watch a creepy movie anymore, not like I used to. If they came out with the 10th Saw movie, I wouldn't even care if I saw it. And that's saying something. So why is this? Why do those movies and those jump scares not give me the pleasure that they used to? Why would I prefer a good old classic show over a new and spine-chilling film? And another interesting thought. Why have I seen this shift with many of my family and friends in recent years also? Have you too noticed this in yourself and maybe even with your loved ones? If so, it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe it's because many of you out there have come to realize the same thing that I have. And what I have recognized over the years is that I spend enough of my time and energy day in and day out watching too many scary things already. But this time, unfortunately, it's not coming from the cinemas. So how can that be? What is frightening many of us on a regular basis that we don't even have the desire to watch a nerve-wracking film anymore? I believe I have the answer to this one. Let's see if you agree. In today's world, getting that bone-chilling scare comes to us simply by turning on the television to watch the daily news, or it's scanning the articles that are written in the paper each and every morning, or it's browsing through our social media sites and seeing the frightening things happening in our world right now. And more often than not, it's disturbing things that may not even be true with all the fake news that seems to exist today. With more information than we need right at our fingertips, it now happens to be those real life horrors surrounding us that seem to bring more than enough fear into our life. So who needs the movies anymore, right? And for some of us, it extends even further. By having all of this information with the click of a button, it has led to many of us living in fear over just about everything. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Fear that something bad will happen to us. Fear that something bad will happen to our children. Fear that something awful will come about in our parents' lives. Fear that we will get seriously ill, maybe even from COVID or the vaccine. Fear that we will lose our money somehow. Fear that something really bad is bound to happen to us. And most importantly, for some, even fear that we could unexpectedly die. It's real, it's haunting, and it's much scarier than some silly movie Warner Brothers could ever think to come up with. Instead, this is genuine everyday life, and it's so easy as technology advances to be scared. To be scared of just about everything that so easily crosses our newsfeed every second of the day. Is there some part of you, or maybe a big part of you, that is experiencing life this way? Are you scared? Are you fearful? Do you spend most of your day worrying about the bad that is sure to come? If so, then it's time to make a change. It's time to stop letting fear run your life. Because if there is one thing I have learned over the years about fear, it's that once it gets its grip on you, it can feel unbelievably crippling. It can literally hold you back from moving forward in life. But there is one thing we need to always remember when it comes to fear. It doesn't matter how scared we are about certain things happening. We can be scared a whole heck of a lot or even just a tiny little bit. Either way, at the end of the day, it won't change the result of what's going to happen in our life. What will just be, no matter how frightened we are. So it's time. It's time to let go of that all-consuming fear, to get it out of our life, even if it means shutting off the TV or stopping that newspaper subscription or deleting that app. We can choose to be scared and fearful of everything that might happen to us, even death. But what we should instead be petrified of is letting fear holding us back from living our life today and in this moment that we are given right now. It's time to live our best life, and in it, there really is no room for fear anymore. Instead, let's leave all of those terrors and all of those scares to Warner Brothers and the cinemas, because that is exactly where it belongs. For those of you struggling with something in life, or if you have a topic of interest that you want me to talk about in this blog, email me at beyourbestselfblog@gmail.com. Let's work together to be our very best selves. Click below on the subscribe button for my weekly updates.